On a personal level, actually, I always have a hard time explaining my work or choosing titles. And when I try to explain it to people, I have a hard time sometimes trying to, pick the words, right? Trying to describe it. So it feels to me like this thing called speaking in tongues, which is like speaking in riddles, speaking in a language that I don't understand myself. There's something about the physical quality of the materiality, I think that's the word that I think I like to use, of ceramics or just clay, basically, because it comes from clay, that taps into our collective unconscious because it's really old, right? I think clay or ceramics, terracotta, in any form, I think it's a really primitive, like really old material. When people see ceramics, they feel there's like this primordial feeling, this kind of like primitive feeling that refers to like a human body somehow. So its characteristic, its element, its materiality somehow metaphorically can connect to their experience of the corporeal body, to our experience of a corporeal body. I've seen the exhibitions of the terracotta warrior, right, in the first Chinese emperor. It's amazing that after thousands and thousands and thousands of years, it's still like that. It still retains its shape, There's like a permanent quality. It's almost like mystical to me. It's almost like spiritual at the same time. So that's what makes me interested in using clay. I think that physical quality allows people to use it as a material to express certain ideas, poetically, metaphorically, to preserve something permanent, timeless. If you look at the story of the terracotta warriors, how the king trying to replicate his army, his real life army, using clay, it confirms my idea of there's always some form, some level of repetition or multiplicity or reproducibility in ceramic making process. The idea is embedded in the physical characteristic of clay because it's so plastic. You can use it to reproduce anything. And so I began to create one object, which is the human figure in these exhibitions. And then I thought, like, I feel like one is a bit too. There's something wrong with this, There's something missing, right? And then so I made one, and then I repeat, and then this is interesting when you have two of the same object, and I keep repeating it. After a while, it feels like there's something going on here. It seems like there's something about multiplicity, right, that taps into this idea of spirituality. It's almost like a prayer. Some people interpret it as like a mantra, for example. There's something about multiplicities. I was drawn to repeat, to this process of repeating things, because I think I was always interested in the idea, like, if you repeat certain things, certain actions, and then you just keep repeating it, where will you end? Like, will you be in the same state when you first started, or will you be in the different state, like mentally and psychologically? That's what been driving me, so far. Just like a logical, transitions or like progressions from using repetitions and my explorations in pattern, and then I at some point I arrived in a mandala. I thought this is like a really poetic and really beautiful metaphor of the human psyche. There are many different versions of mandala, of course, and they vary in color, in shapes, in design. But most mandala have these basic structures of this radiating pattern from the center. You have the periphery, you have the center. So there's always this relations between the inward and the outward, the inside and the outside. It's a journey going in so that you can project yourself outward. It's like a symbol of the soul. It's a very powerful and useful tools for self-discovery, I thought. I was interested in it because to me it was really poetic, and it taps into all these many different religious traditions, like also like in Hindu, in Buddhist. I began to see religion in a different perspective, or religious experience in a different perspective now. I see it as like a social phenomenon. I see it like this. There's something really interesting going on in human being when they are involved in religious experience, I think, psychologically. I wanted the ceramics to be all around the room, on the wall, on the floor, so people can be in the space with the work, not looking at the work. When I make all these works, there's thousands of them there. Like I think in total there's about 8,000 or more if I count all of them in total. So it's just because I made all of them with my hands in the studio, literally all of these pieces came across my hand, came to my hands, like I carved them, I slipcast them individually. I imagine these individual pieces is like letters. They're like letters that forms words that form sentence, When I make all these things, especially the big one, the biggest one in this exhibition, which called Infinitude, to me it's like showing this work is like trying to speak in a word that I don't understand.